Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kristina Lynn Show. The talk show with heart, where Kristina brings you up close and personal with the most fascinating guests from all walks of life.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
And now your host, Kristina Lynn.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Kristina Lynn Show. I'm your host, Kristina Lynn, and we are the talk show with heart. We bring you to the heart of the matter by bringing to you some of the most amazing, unique, and remarkable people in this whole globe from all walks of life. And today I'm so honored to say I have a dear friend and also a true hero, a true American hero and a true global hero. So welcome to our show, Craig Sawyer. Craig, welcome. So glad to have you. Craig has been a Navy SEAL. He has just received a humanitarian award from the Navy SEALs for his work with the wonderful charity, which is Vets for Child Rescue, which he's founded and has been working with very steadily. We're going to talk about that today, as well as his background as a federal agent and a federal investigator, which I'm sure really ties in beautifully with your charity. So, Craig, how are you today?
I'm well, Kristina. Thanks for having me on your show.
Right. Well, more than ever, with the crime picking up in our world, and particularly in America, it's just so important that we really have heroes like you and like Vets for Child Rescue. And it's just so important. And I'd like to tell a lot of the people at home about Vets for Child Rescue and what got you along into that journey to form that and move forward with it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I didn't start off to be any kind of hero. I just really, after a lifetime of professional service in different agencies and in our Department of Defense, combating terrorism, eventually at the very highest level, the tier 1 level of counter-terrorist operations,
Yes.
I learned that children in the United States are being terrorized to a greater degree than anything I had seen internationally to 60 countries that I've been to over the years, over the decades. And it broke my heart. I'm a hardened combat veteran. Navy SEALs are sent to carry out missions that are deemed to be impossible through other means. We need to bring about, when we're sent, Kristina, a positive outcome, a desirable outcome for the American people and our security against all odds, no matter the situation. And so I'm used to making things happen in impossible situations. And it's been my heart my entire life to stop terror.
Yeah.
Especially terror against the most precious and the most defenseless. So it was a friend of mine in the intelligence community that let me know that the area just north of Houston that we had grown up in had become the hottest center for child trafficking and this unspeakable harm done to the children by these cult groups and these trafficking rings in the entire country. I just couldn't reconcile that with our culture, the beauty that I grew up seeing there in the culture, the people that would pull over, Kristina, on these farm roads into the gravel to let you pass so that you didn't have to pass on the oncoming lane. I mean, that's the type of neighborly kindness that we grew up in. Churches everywhere.
Yes.
And we celebrate our patriots and family, and it's just traditional America, down home USA there.
Right.
And I couldn't understand how this could prevail. And I realized through talking to investigators that had been a part of raids and recoveries, they were letting me know that, Craig, this is a very covert operation, although it's now at industrial scale. $38 to $50 billion in revenue annually, selling children on the black market.
Could you repeat
criminal
that
manner.
again? I want to
Yes,
make sure
ma'am.
people hear that number. That's shocking.
Yeah, it's 38 to 50 billion is the estimate of revenue inside the United States. Now, a lot of this is hard to track because people are brought here off the books from other nations. There are baby farms by where people will have abducted young ladies and they will breed them to provide numerous offspring whom they harm.
I heard about that going on with that John of God cult in South America when they busted it, that they had the baby farms. That's shocking. Are they finding quite a few of those in America?
It is shocking. They're finding a few, but it's not making the mainstream. What's happening is you'll have agencies like the U.S. Marshal Service will make big raids and arrest hundreds sometimes of these traffickers at a time. But for reasons we can only speculate, the mainstream news media will not air it on their TV news channels. You'll see the articles and all the factual evidence of the cases and the convictions and so forth, and the recoveries of the, dozens and sometimes the 80 or 100 children recovered at a time.
Yeah,
but you don't see it celebrated. These are big wins for the children and for the American people. Why aren't they not celebrated?
That's huge.
On the news? That's news to all of us. That's intel that we deserve to know, but it's kept very quiet. And it's because of that secrecy, if you will, or that cover up.
Yeah.
If you want to use that word, of the factual evidence that we, the people, are not informed, Kristina, and we can't combat it because we're not made aware of it. So if you were my doctor and I had a terminal illness, I would need for you to inform me of it in good faith so that I could begin taking action against it.
Yes.
I can't fight what I don't know. I can't save myself from a harm that I don't perceive. So our news outlets have the responsibility to inform us in good faith about the harm being perpetrated against our children and thereby the future of our nation, because millions of children are being psychologically traumatized and very deeply disturbed, and their life's journey, their life's path are being destroyed. Many of them die of neglect and abuse, and many more commit suicide due to the conflict and the trauma, and that they don't understand the nature of this really evil that's been perpetrated against them. We could talk a little bit more about the motive, but that's what I learned about Kristina that just broke my heart. And as the son of a pastor, as just a man, as a veteran and father, I just realized I had to fight this with whatever tools I had and bring a good faith counter to this. And I was going to have to figure out on the run in faith, Kristina, and fight this and ask God to bless it, because I'm not okay sitting and crying on the sidelines about the harm. I'm a warrior, and I have the moral courage to stand up and speak the truth, no matter the consequences. And that's what I founded Veterans for Child Rescue to do, to sound the alarm, to let people know, hey, here's a real problem. It's big. We can factually demonstrate it. You deserve to know, American populace. Let's all link arms together, surround the children, circle the wagons, if you will, around them, and say, leave the children alone. Leave them out of your perversion. Leave them out of your criminal enterprises.
Yes.
They are sacred. They are precious. And we will rise up to whatever degree necessary as families and civilians and patriots and say, no more, leave the children alone. They are worthy of all of our protection. So there was the founding of Vets for Child Rescue.
That's very, very touching. And again, I do want to say, and we're going to say this at the end of the show, but please do reach out to Vets for Child Rescue. It's with the number 4, vets4childrescue.org, where you can see how you can help. I know there are people out there listening in our audience that would like to reach out through a donation or even through volunteering. I believe you do also work with volunteers, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. We welcome everybody's contributions, however they can best help us.
Yes.
And probably above all else, even though we're a nonprofit organ, we need funding to fund our ops. Pray. Above all else, pray.
Pray.
Because for crying out loud, where else would the inclination to harm the innocent in unspeakable ways come from, if not from evil itself? This is, at its core, a spiritual conflict. So we urge and ask everyone to pray. Pray for the children. Pray for our mission.
Right.
Pray for the team and our families through this fight, because it is a fight.
It is. That's so true. And you all are such heroes. And, I also have my charity, Rescue Children Now. So rescuechildrennow.org. And we also support you all and love working with you to help you raise funds and get volunteers for your ops. And I know that you're doing those all over the country. So it doesn't matter where they live, if they'll just reach out to you. And again, the prayers, that's the most important, because it is through prayer, it will all be saved. And we are going to change this whole thing. Now, Craig, as we move ahead, I want to speak we've got to actually take a break here in a moment. But when we come back after our sponsor break, I'd like to talk with you a little bit more about what actually has happened in your own household and how this has also affected your journey too. So stay tuned, because you have two other heroes, your wife and your daughter, who are amazing heroes as well. That's right. So we'll be right back to have lots more right here with Craig Sawyer. Stay tuned, and we will be right back. Hello, this is Kristina Lynn from the Kristina Lynn Show, and I have a big announcement today that I am so excited about. We have a wonderful new sponsor that it is my honor to announce is the great organization Ameliorate. Ameliorate is something that has just changed my life in so many great ways, and I'm so happy to not just give a commercial here, but to give an endorsement. But right now, Stacy, we want to tell the audience about Ameliorate. You have offered a special offer. If any of you, when you go onto Ameliorate, you will have a place you can click when you say, I was referred by the Kristina Lynn Show.
When they get in touch with me through the website, when people get in touch with me and they mention the Kristina Lynn Show, we'll get 5% off. Ameliorate Your Life is a at-home wellness program, and it's as easy as a click of a button on your laptop or your mobile device. And at Ameliorate, we have tons of classes about breathing classes, yoga classes, nutrition classes, anything to ameliorate your life. We ameliorate your life through products, classes, the incredible healers that are on the website.
Everything is top-notch, 5-star, and it's all set up to make you feel better, to give us our best life, and to keep you nice and healthy. Would you please give us again the Ameliorate wonderful website where everyone can go and get their 5% off by mentioning the Kristina Lynn Show?
So it's www.aylnow.com.
So again, I'm Kristina Lynn right here on the Kristina Lynn Show. Make sure that you go to the Ameliorate website, click on there, get your discount, and you will be thanking us soon. That's Ameliorate.
Travel is part of the American way of life.
When we're on vacation, we keep an eye out for anything that looks out of place.
Miss your bag.
When we travel from city to city, we pay attention to our surroundings.
Everyone plays a role in keeping our communities safe.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
And we are back with lots more of the Kristina Lynn Show. I'm here with one of my favorite heroes, Craig Sawyer of Vets for Child Rescue. And Craig, let's talk now about, I know something that's a little bit difficult probably to talk about, but I'm so proud of you and of your lovely wife, Tressa, and your lovely daughter, Aspen, who I've had the great honor also to meet and to spend time with. And both of them also have been victims of abuse. And I know that's had to have been so hard for you. Let's talk a little bit about that. First about your wife, Tressa, who's such a beautiful and lovely shining light, who's helped so many people, and her journey and how you've helped her too.
Well, I want to say first, and I celebrate this truly,
Yes.
I think it's important for people to grasp both of these ladies are beautiful, and they are beautiful souls, and they are precious and dear, but they are also fierce.
Yes, they
They
are
are
fierce.
fierce, and they are souls with a mission and a purpose to be reckoned with.
Yes.
And they are powerful. And I'm learning that as we go through conflict, as our family is repeatedly attacked, I'm learning what fierce entities these women in my family are. And it's a fascinating revelation to see your beautiful wife and precious little daughter demonstrate what's behind them spiritually, what's in them, and their will power and the force that they know that God is and is that they're tapped into and using in their lives to do good. So they are both willing to talk about their trauma now and what was done to them. So my wife was the victim, a childhood victim from a very early age of a neighborhood babysitting couple who babysitted many of the neighborhood's children after school when the parents were still at work. And this couple was raping the children, mainly the man. So he was raping the boys and the girls.
Oh, that's horrible.
And the mother was helping facilitate it and cover it up. And so there was a many years of trauma to our to the neighborhood's children and to my wife. And it only stopped when my mother-in-law, Tressa's mom, remarried, and she married a fine Christian man, and he brought a masculine presence back to that household. And Tressa knew that she was protected and loved. Not that her mother didn't protect her and love her, but her mother was unwitting to the harm. Mother's a fantastic woman as well, genuinely.
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
But with that masculine presence in the home, Tressa felt emboldened, and she told her predator, she squared off with him, and she faced him down. And
good
a
for
small
her.
Little girl still, she said, "No more. You will touch me no more. This will never happen again. So help me." And he recognized what that meant and that he was in a compromise. The predator recognized that he was in a compromised position, and he never laid a hand on her again.
Oh, thank God.
Then when Tressa years later, she was outside washing her car and she heard a gunshot, and it was him taking his own life. Otherwise, he would have had me to deal with if he was still around once I learned of his harm. But, that's something that really shaped her perception of life. It deeply traumatized and scarred her. And I learned about it increasingly over the years with her. So initially, when I met her, I was a Navy SEAL operator at the highest level. When I met her, we enjoyed sharing time. She was a good and decent woman, very attractive, and we just really hit it off. But I learned more and more over time how deeply scarred and how deeply traumatized she actually was, and how it changed how she perceived everything, including my interaction with her, my love for her. So I kind of got scarred up quite a bit from her over defensive reactions from having been a trauma victim. And it's given me an education about that. So there was that. And then she was date raped later on in her life before she met me. So there's another trauma and betrayal. And Aspen I just learned when we were out there filming our TV show with you, we were driving to the studio, that not only was our daughter Aspen in her early years, elementary school, was cornered in a bathroom in a neighbor's house, and a young man attempted to molest her, but I learned that he had actually raped her. And she hadn't told us the extent of it. So that rocked me. And so there was that. And then she was abducted outside of a sandwich shop late at night after she was struggling with depression from a B12 deficiency, which caused psychosis and depression. And this predator, a longtime serial rapist, took a knife to our daughter, put it right upon her side, put his arm around her. We have all this on surveillance video. Led her into a night of nightmare, rape, repeated trauma, and death threats. And we got her home. She was able to figure out how to psychologically profile this predator at some point. And
bless her. So please continue. Yes.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, it really should be a case study for the FBI and Homeland Security investigations on how she was able to get this rapist to let her get back to her car. But we got a call from her as she was speeding home, screaming into the phone. It was a horrific phone call to receive, but we got her home. We got her to the hospital. She decided that she was going to fight back, and she went through all the rape kit and all the procedures to bring him to justice 2.5 years later, after he was allowed to go through 14 public defenders, fire 14 of his public defenders, and delay the trial for 2.5 years. Finally, he was able to be brought to trial. He was allowed to represent himself, but in the end, he was found guilty on all 7 counts of aggravated rape and assault, and sentenced to 68 years in prison. And through that,
thank God,
our daughter fought back. She also served as a junior decoy agent with Veterans for Child Rescue in an operation involving, I believe it was 9 agencies involved in that operation. And we got 9 predator convictions on that one. And she served very bravely, very professionally. You can watch that in our documentary Contraland.
Yes.
And it's available for free at contralandmovie.com. But now, through fighting back, our daughter Aspen has become a type of role model and champion for children that other mothers and daughters have confided in her, that her fight back has inspired them to find their own voice and stand up and advocate for themselves. So God is moving through our women in our family who have been targeted and traumatized, but have stood up and boldly fought back in good faith, and God has moved through them to help put predators away and empower others. And I truly celebrate it. They realize the beauty from their pain, and they know their place now. They see God moving through them. So through everything, God has a reason, purpose, a plan. And
thank God for that.
2 prime examples right there. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I know you're so proud. And I do want to say, I was just going to mention Contraland. So again, do go and watch Contraland, and they'll just go to contralandthemovie.com. Is that right?
Contralandmovie.com. Yes, ma'am. And it's linked on v4cr.org's website as well. Easy to find
yes, search. Contralandmovie.com. I have seen that. It's been a great inspiration. And it's something very important. If you haven't watched it, please make sure that you do. It's amazing how you all were able to capture these predators, and they were going after trying to be with 12-year-old girls. And how did that make you feel as a father, to have your beautiful daughter, who had been through so much, to be strong enough and such a hero to be able to help you with those ops?
It was healing for me, and I celebrate God's greatness, because if you love someone, you want them empowered and you want them secure, and knowledge is power. When you can act out on the knowledge, when you can utilize it effectively, that is power. And I celebrate the empowerment of the women in my life. And if you love women, you want them not only just beautiful and celebrated in their ability to nurture, but also in their empowerment to stand up against predators. And I just truly celebrate that so deeply.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, we're going to take another word, our final word from our sponsor, and then we're going to come back and talk to Craig Sawyer a lot more. We have a lot more to talk about. We're going to have you back another time too, just to begin to even touch the surface of all of this. But stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hi, I'm Ben Affleck. The only thing better than playing a hero in the movies is being a hero in real life. Like the 50,000 veterans who returned from Iraq and Afghanistan with devastating injuries. They are true heroes, and they're why I'm proud to support Paralyzed Veterans of America. They make sure veterans with spinal cord injuries get the care and support they need at no cost to them. To learn more, visit pva.org. That's pva.org.
Hello, this is Kristina Lynn from the Kristina Lynn Show, and I have a big announcement today that I am so excited about. We have a wonderful new sponsor that it is my honor to announce is the great organization Ameliorate. Ameliorate is something that has just changed my life in so many great ways, and I'm so happy to not just give a commercial here, but to give an endorsement. But right now, Stacy, we want to tell the audience about Ameliorate. You have offered a special offer. If any of you, when you go on to Ameliorate, you will have a place you can click when you say, I was referred by the Kristina Lynn Show.
When they get in touch with me through the website, when people get in touch with me and they mention the Kristina Lynn Show, we'll get 5% off. Ameliorate Your Life is a at-home wellness program, and it's as easy as a click of a button on your laptop or your mobile device. And at Ameliorate, we have tons of classes about breathing classes, yoga classes, nutrition classes, anything to ameliorate your life. We ameliorate your life through products, classes, the incredible healers that are on the website.
Everything is top-notch, 5-star, and it's all set up to make you feel better, to give us our best life, and to keep you nice and healthy. Would you please give us again the Ameliorate wonderful website where everyone can go and get their 5% off by mentioning the Kristina Lynn Show?
So it's www.aylnow.com.
So again, I'm Kristina Lynn right here on the Kristina Lynn Show. Make sure that you go to the Ameliorate website, click on there, get your discount, and you will be thanking us soon. That's Ameliorate. Yes. Welcome back to the Kristina Lynn Show. I am here with one of my favorite heroes, and that's Craig Sawyer from Vets for Child Rescue. And we are so thankful, Craig, for the work that you have done. We talked about Contraland, and we know now also and are so excited to announce here that you have a new show coming out, Defending Our Children. And how can we speak up? What can we do? What can our audience do to say, you know what, that's not good enough? We need to know the truth.
Yeah. Well, I do celebrate the creation of our new TV show, Defending Our Children. I think it's another platform to reach a different demographic than maybe we reached with Contraland and even with the radio show. So we're finding that we all have to branch out now and get the word out through multiple platforms, because there seems to be this very widespread, very deliberate, very absolute gatekeeper mentality of so many of the media platforms.
Yeah, so may this be a call to action. Let's step up. Let's take action. Reach out to Craig and all of his wonderful people at Vets4, and it's the number 4, Vets4ChildRescue.org. And I want to thank you, Craig, so much. And again, I'm so honored with RescueChildrenNow.org as well, where we're also helping with other things that you all are. We're helping to support you and groups like you to get the word out. So it's time to stand up and speak out. We can no longer have this happen. I'm dedicating this show to all of our children. They are our greatest resource. They are our future. Let's all go out and help our children, protect them, save them, rescue them, and help them to thrive and to have the lives that they deserve to have, thriving in love and in joy and all the beautiful things that they're meant to have. So, Craig, thank you so much. And I want to thank our audience again for joining us for another edition of the Kristina Lynn Show.
We'll be looking forward to seeing you again. And don't forget just how important you really are to us. We love and respect each and every one of you.
Take a step toward bringing our country and community together. Start a meaningful conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from